is so easy to use.
A StreamYard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely easy. You use it too?
I do.
Yeah.
I know our last smoke sesh last week, our sound kept going in and out. So it was like sound wasn't working properly, but Cupcake had put like these filters on the microphone and it made us sound super awesome the week before, but it was just us two.
Right.
And then we had like 2 guests on and it was like, yeah, no, it just, the microphone was only deciding who it wanted to pick up.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
yeah. But so those filters are off.
Yeah. Screw those filters.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that with like a remote guest as well?
No, it was somebody here.
Yeah.
So we use OBS when
it's
people are in studio.
Yeah.
And then we use StreamYard when we're patching people in.
I love your studio too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so in love with your background. Slightly jealous. I'm like, now we need to make a really cool background like that.
It was pretty easy to do, I'm not gonna lie. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super fun.
We should make one where we're like in space, or like underwater. Right?
Yeah, we could definitely do like a galaxy background.
Yeah,
for
buddy.
sure. That would
do another
be, I think, an
space
easy
pants
one.
episode.
Yeah. Space pants.
Space pants.
That was such a fun Saturday Night Live
So
episode.
good.
Yeah.
What up, Poker Lady? Happy Friday.
Comments. Here we go. Poker Lady, hello. Thank you for joining us. Poker Lady is an OG.
Yeah,
From
Poker
like
Ladies.
day one almost.
She's been hanging out with us since like the first ever live.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was like over 5 years ago. So shout out
Wow.
Poker Lady. She also makes
awesome.
the best bannock I've ever tasted. Fried bannock.
Oh, so good.
It's so delicious. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know.
I wish my watch had seconds.
Second. Oh
You know?
yeah, like I'm sure you could. I'm
Probably
sure
be
there's
a
Like
setting
wrote down.
phase.
yeah,
Somewhere.
right, yeah. I feel like now this is
big
just
guess.
where she guesses.
All right,
Wait,
you know what
she's-
we're gonna do?
we're
I'm gonna play this first.
There we go. Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, ooh, and it comes in from the side. Look at that. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
so dope.
You
Cupcake.
think we're good to do the countdown now?
Yeah, I feel
I
like
think we're
and
gonna
if
go
we're
for
early,
it.
then you never know. Sometimes it lands right on it. Your intuition is good, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like
Very
forcing
close.
This whole buddy 4 seconds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Friday night smoke sesh. We are the Two Big Girls. I am Cupcake.
I'm Rae Rae. What's up?
And thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, we have a super special guest with us. This is Margaret.
Hello.
She does a podcast as well. Hers is called Bite Me Podcast. So it's a show about edibles.
I love the
Yes.
name.
I love it too. I love it too. So how did you come up with the name? How long have you been doing the show?
I've been doing the show for like 5 years now myself.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Like
Yeah.
pretty much the same length as us.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for 5 years, and I don't know how I came up with the name, if I'm being completely honest. In a way, it felt kind of lazy. Like the show about edibles. I mean, that's pretty obvious what the show is
Yeah.
about. So it's either lazy or brilliant, one or the other. I don't know.
I think brilliant.
I think it's brilliant.
I like
Brilliant.
that too. You're
Yeah.
right. It was a stroke of genius on my part.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Brayden. Hope you're feeling well after your surgery. Thank you for
What's up,
joining us from the
Brayden?
hospital.
Yeah. Shout out to Brayden. He is hospital watching. So
Yes.
I'd say-
Amazing.
And hello, Flip Flop
watching.
Girl. Thanks for tuning in. So what made you do a show about edibles?
I happen to be a bit of a fan. You
Okay.
know? So I listened to a lot of podcasts at the time. I still do. I consume a ton of podcasts. And so I suppose the podcasting format made the most sense.
For sure.
But I was really into edibles. I was like, I discovered them a few years before that and realized that that was my preferred way to consume cannabis. Because sometimes I'm one of those people, like if I inhale too much THC, I get like really paranoid. And then
Wow.
I'm like I'm hiding in the corner and be like, everybody can tell I'm
Aw.
high.
Aw.
And so I'm like super sensitive to it. But if I eat the cannabis, just the way that like comes on, oh, everything about it is perfect. So,
Okay, good.
I was kind of experimenting a lot making edibles. And then I was just like, why don't I do a show? And
Yeah.
it started the show kind of haphazardly, not really having a regular schedule or anything like that. And then a couple months later, I got my first like email from a listener. I was just like, oh my God, somebody's actually listening to this. And so the rest is history because, just hit my ego in the right spot. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this.
That's amazing. And that's
Yeah.
that's amazing because you just start something because you love it, right? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
really enjoy making edibles. That's your favorite way to consume, cannabis. And so you're doing something you
Passionate about
love.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you just love it. And so to see like other people, you know, listen to you and like do the recipes and like, that's incredible. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, I have to admit. Yeah. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't still be doing it 5 years later, as I'm sure you two know as well. Like if
Yeah.
you're not doing what you're doing, you're not going to keep it up.
No,
Mhm.
for sure. A lot of people have come and gone in those 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So where can people listen to your podcast?
Yeah.
Like pretty much on all the podcasting platforms. I do have podcast audio on YouTube. And then if you want to go to the website on like the episode webpage, I have the video when I record, but it's like totally unedited. So it's a different experience if you want to watch the video over there. But
Real
Yeah,
life. It's just
fun.
real
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
yeah, with all the ums and ahs that I edit out and like that kind of stuff. If you want to watch that, then be my guest. But I don't know why.
Yeah. We like it raw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raw is good sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Hannah?
Hey,
Hey.
and Baron, thanks for joining us, everyone. Aw, you're so sweet, poker lady. Yes, please like and subscribe if you enjoy the show.
So
And like and subscribe for her show as well.
So have you like always been a baker, or did you just kind of start baking when you wanted to make your own edibles? Like how did that kind of come into play?
Yeah, pretty much the second. Like I've
Yeah.
baked a lot over the course of my life, but I was never like somebody who was super into baking until I started putting weed in it. And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, I kind of like this baking thing because it also helps that I have like a really bad sweet tooth. And if I infuse the cookies, then I can only eat so many. Whereas
Yeah,
if not
true.
infused, I could eat quite a few. So, it's helpful that way too.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my dumb ass. I would just keep eating
For
and then-
sure.
and
I've
And
then
then be high for 3
Or-
days.
yeah, and then
Literally.
Yeah.
And it was the worst.
For sure.
do you ever have you ever experienced like a weed hangover the next day if you've eaten too many edibles?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like that's the only way I've ever experienced that kind of hangover is by edibles because I'm stupid and I don't actually,
Yeah.
properly know the dosages. And I'll be like, oh, you bake this? Awesome. Let me try it. And then if it tastes really good, I'll just
Right.
like eat lots of it.
Yeah.
And the next day I wake up and I'm like, wow, did I just get the flu? Like, I feel so sick right now.
So do you know how to like measure your doses? Like, there's definitely a math equation that you
Yes.
can use. And I have it somewhere in like my notes kind of thing or whatever from when I first became a medical patient. But yeah, like you can figure out what your
Yeah.
edibles
I
would be
recommend
like
people do figure it
for
out.
sure.
Yeah. Because it's good to have sort of an idea of how strong the edibles are that you're eating, especially if you want to give them away to somebody.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer to be like, yeah, these are 20 milligrams instead of being like, I don't know, good luck.
Yeah, right?
Start low, go slow.
Yeah. If you're just giving them to them blind, it's kind of counterintuitive to that sort of
Yeah,
advice.
For
But
sure.
You like take one bite or eat the whole thing. It's your choice. You never
yeah,
know
the
how
results
it's
may
gonna-
vary, but
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So there's lots of ways. I mean, you can do it the old fashioned, like, get out the pen and paper and figure it out. But a lot of websites have calculators on them now,
Yeah.
For sure.
mine included. If you want to go to bitemepodcast.com, there's a free calculator you can use.
Oh,
Or
nice.
there's like, I don't know if you've heard of the T-Check, but it's like a home device for testing the potency of your infusions too. So there's like lots of ways to do it.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
Somebody in the chat just asked that what up, Lavelle, first of all?
Yeah.
It's been a
Thanks
while.
for joining us.
Yeah. She asks, is edibles don't affect me are there any tips?
That's a tough one because I know
Right?
people the edibles don't affect them.
Yeah.
And it could be maybe you just haven't had a high enough dose, but so depending on how strong the edibles were that she's tried,
Yeah.
we could like incrementally increase the dosage and see. But if you're at like hitting a couple 100 milligrams, then
That's crazy.
at
Yeah.
that point is like
There really
is
a
it really
point.
worth
Is
it?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just one of those unlucky people that
Yeah.
doesn't have like the enzyme or whatever that helps
Yeah. Yeah.
process the
Because
cannabis.
everybody's system's
For
different,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, Don, what up, Don Julio? Don Julio says, might just be your body. Edibles don't work for everyone.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like mushrooms don't affect my boyfriend.
Really?
I've given
That's
him,
messed
yeah,
up.
it was crazy. So he wanted to, because he doesn't smoke weed. He doesn't, right? I
Yeah.
was like, hey, let's do mushrooms and he's like, okay. So we started off with like half a gram. It was like a 0.5. I was like, just enough to like giggle, and like have a great time. No, it didn't affect him. He took more. We ended up giving him, it was almost like 2 grams of mushrooms. He got the giggles like a little bit, but nothing. I was like, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
if I did 2 grams of mushrooms, I'd be tripping balls. Like I would be having such a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, so
For
would I.
sure.
Well, I wonder maybe he needs to try the tea or something. Like, did you
Right?
just eat them?
Yeah, we just ate them.
Yeah.
That's usually just
Yeah,
how
maybe
I,
a different form. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like maybe it has to be the lemon tech
right?
to like
Bring out that potency
make
for
it a
him.
little bit,
What's the lemon tech? Is that just like a potent mushroom?
Well, you soak it in lemon juice.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. And then it
Oh.
apparently it's also, it makes it kind of like pass a little bit quicker.
Like hits
Or
you faster
something,
or
hits
something.
you faster
Hits you
and
fast.
like
Yeah.
harder kind of, but also like passes quicker.
Okay.
Like it's
Somebody's told us about this and then we looked it up, didn't we? But we've just never actually done it.
yeah, we've
never
always meant
tried it.
to. We've
Yeah.
always meant to.
Yeah.
But one day we will.
Well, the
Soon.
tea's got enough as it
Soon.
is, so I don't know if like adding the layer of lemon juice as well is gonna help with that. But
Right? Yeah.
I guess if it helps that other stuff, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Lavelle says mushrooms don't affect her either. That
Oh,
sucks.
damn. That's all.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
That's
That's really unfortunate.
That's your,
I
like,
feel bad for you. Just kidding.
endocannabinoid system inside being like, I'm not into the awesome things.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate. Yeah.
So you have a lot of guests on your show.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do.
So what's your like favorite guest you've ever had? Or like maybe not favorite, but
This was such a good question. A favorite.
yeah, not a favorite, but like who are some of like your favorite episodes that you've had with guests?
Or who's been like super cool?
Like who you really enjoy? I don't know. Like I don't know how to ask the
Who would
question.
you definitely invite back for another?
There's so many answers to that. I guess one of the ones I had relatively recently was Jamie Evans. I don't know if you know her, the Herb Som. She's like this beautiful author out of California, and she was in the wine industry, and then she transitioned over to the cannabis industry, and she's written several cookbooks, a lot of them around beverages. And I think I asked her to be on my show like in year 1 and maybe year 3, and then finally in year 5.
You got her.
Yeah. And like it was a really great conversation. I really enjoyed having her on my show, and she was like just as amazing to interview as I had seen her online. And so that one was really memorable for sure.
That's awesome.
That's super
memorable. That's a good way. Yeah.
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 That's a way better way to ask that question.
Way better. Yeah. What are some of your most memorable episodes?
We also forget
what
that
I meant
she
to say.
also interviews people too, right?
Right.
Here we are.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, let us try to interview someone. We're good at it.
I've talked to a few people, but yeah, that one was really cool. And if you haven't checked out any of her cookbooks, I think she's got like 4 now.
Oh, wow.
They're really good. Yeah.
Okay, so Don.
Oh, right. Don Filio
is saying
wants us to acknowledge that it was him that told us lemon tech.
Also
Look
would
at
help
that
people.
photo.
It would help people who don't feel mushrooms, as the lemon breaks down the psilocybin, which is what your stomach can't do naturally.
Oh, that makes
Thank you, Dawn.
Thanks, Dawn. That's a creepy ass photo.
Yes, and Dawn did tell us about lemon tech, and then I looked it up, and we were gonna do it.
Yeah, and we just haven't yet.
But yeah.
So thanks, Don Julio.
Yeah.
He's being nicer this week. Last week, we don't know who Don Julio is, and he's either really nice oh, he's just like a little brother, and you're just like, shut up, please. Stop. You're in a mood today.
Yeah.
He was in a mood last week, so he's being nice today.
Yeah. So what are like some things that you've made on your show?
Oh God, where do I even start with that one?
Do you like sweets or like more savory? Like, what's your
It's
favorite
just,
to
it has
kind
a
of?
sweet tooth.
Yeah, I've definitely done a ton of sweets just because that's what I'm making myself anyway. And a lot of the
Yeah.
recipes I'm doing, like I'm making them in my kitchen and then talking about it on the show. So that I do lean heavily on the sweets, but
Sure.
sometimes the people are asking for certain things, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Totally.
I've done a lot of savory stuff. I actually haven't done the episode yet, but I did like a chili garlic sauce recently.
Ooh.
That's
So
dope.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds
And I've
really
done
yummy.
barbecue sauces and like stews and all kinds of stuff.
It's awesome. Do you like also show people how to infuse butter and like how to
Yeah.
infuse oils and stuff like that?
Yeah. Usually those are like in different episodes just because once you have that infusion made, you can use it for like all kinds of stuff.
For sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's your favorite to infuse it into? Like, do you do butter or is it oil? Like, what are you infusing?
I do. I usually like at any given time, I'll have like 3 or 4 infusions in the fridge, maybe a couple more in the cupboard. So I always have something going. But I think olive oil is my favorite lately. I've done butter too, but sometimes I've had butter like if I don't use it fast enough, it can go bad on you faster than other
Yeah.
infusions I find. But yeah, olive oil is probably my favorite, and then coconut oil too is super
Yeah.
versatile. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
I feel like we had a thing of coconut
I had made
yeah, that you made. It was green. She Cupcake butter. So like I don't bake at all, right? But Cupcake's
Right.
like a really great baker.
Yeah.
And then she won a magic butter machine.
Yeah.
Oh, those things are fun.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
won one like when legalization through like magic butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she made like her first batch and she like stunk up the entire apartment building. And then, but it was so
Yeah.
strong. Like the butter,
Right.
it was like black. Like it looked green. It was so
barely even butter.
It wasn't even butter.
I
It
would
was
put way too much weed in.
it was like just one lick, you're gonna be fucked. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more when it comes to that, but yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the magic butter is pretty cool though because it's what that was the first machine I ever got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can just make like big batches in it. Like if you know you love olive oil and you're going to use it all the time, you can do like 5
Yeah.
cups at a time. So it's
Amazing.
pretty useful for that. Yeah, and it has the cool disco lights on it too, so that's fun.
Yes, I know. It's super fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds great. Ambinator says bacon wrapped scallop wrapped in a leaf drizzled with infused sweet syrup.
Yeah, I'd fuck with that.
Right?
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's her next episode now. Just kidding.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
think so.
So you did one recently that both of us were drooling over. It was like a Reese freezer pot, like frozen pots.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Oh, those looked good. I'm drooling as I'm saying it right now.
right.
Yeah.
They're pretty easy to make. My version, the ones I made them a couple times, and they didn't look quite as nice as the picture, but you know,
Yeah.
they tasted really good, and I ate a lot of them.
Oh, Laval says she just did coconut oil 2 days ago.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Little Devil oil, olive oil is my preferred infusion.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you can like literally do almost any fat. Like I've done like MCT oil and avocado oil and duck fat. Like,
Yeah.
you can do all kinds of stuff.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yeah.
trick to not making your house completely smell of weed when you're trying to
Well, it's like the
infuse?
decarbing it
Yeah.
that is what does it,
Yeah.
right?
If you're doing it in the oven, I haven't tried this trick myself, but I've had a lot of people tell me that it works pretty good. But if you instead of putting your weed out on a pan in the oven, put it in a mason jar. And then
In the oven.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and then close it. You could with the foil. I actually think because you can probably just use the lid because it's not going to be super hot, but you put the lid on it and it'll reduce the smell quite a bit
oh
because
wow.
decarbing in the oven is so smelly.
Yeah, for sure.
It lingers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have
Well-
another way of doing it?
Pretty much you can buy devices for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I think the magical butter machine has like a decarb box you can put in the oven. Or the
Okay.
Ardent is like, have you seen those purple ones? The Ardent FX.
No.
It's basically, it'll infuse as well, but it's basically this device. You can put your weed in it, you push a button and it decarbs it for you.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And there's like virtually no smell. You can smell if you're standing like right next to it, but
Of course.
Yeah, the difference is pretty astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like my apartment building did not appreciate that.
Right. Yeah, and like, I mean, you're living in a place where it's legal, but that doesn't mean you don't have like neighbors or roommates or kids or whatever you
Yeah.
have to be mindful of. And it really does smell for like a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, the sous
For
vide.
sure.
Sous vide's another good one too, actually. The
Oh,
deep-
cool.
Yeah.
Sous vide? Is that with like the water and the
Yeah,
like, the
Yeah,
bag?
like the vacuum sealed bag kind of thing, and then in like hot water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That
They're
would
pretty versatile. those
wow,
tools. And you can infuse that with those as well.
crazy. I would have
Mhm.
never thought of that.
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah,
People like cook
because I don't
food that
use my
way.
magical butter very often because
Right.
of
The
yeah.
one bad experience. You put a lot of weed in there.
I
though,
put
right.
like 2 ounces in like
Yeah,
a pound of butter. I
Yeah.
think like
It
it
was a
was
lot.
barely even butter anymore. Like
Yeah,
it,
that's a
it
ton.
was
Well,
was
it's 2 ounces,
tons.
I guess, but
yeah.
It was just like it. Yeah, there was too much weed in there.
Too much.
Too much for it even to be butter anymore. You know?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you couldn't really spread that on toast.
No, it probably tastes pretty strong. It probably tastes really green too, I'm sure.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. It was
I think
pretty
I kept that
potent.
jar just in my fridge forever. I don't know if I actually ever used it. It would just be like,
What
look,
do you do
people.
with it? You're like,
Yeah.
a teaspoon is gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
spoon. Yeah.
I think I used some of it. I added it to extra butter and made cupcakes, and then I did the frosting with
Yeah. I mean, that's
with
something
some
you
of
can
the
do
butter.
too. Like a lot of people forget you can do a ratio. Just because a
Yeah.
recipe asks for a certain amount doesn't mean you can't
Exactly.
reduce that amount and just substitute for
Yeah.
virgin butter or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Little Devil
Definitely.
says you can infuse meat in the sous vide, then grill slash sear to finish.
Crazy. What?
Mm. Yeah.
That would be dope,
That would be so nice.
right? Infuse
I've
the
never
butter
tried that.
and
I've
then
never
throw
tried
it in.
infusing the meat itself. That's interesting though. I don't see why you couldn't.
Right?
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta try this. Yeah.
I have to, yeah.
Little
Oh, she
Devil
has
said
done
she's
it. She's done it. That's really neat.
Little Devil, you're dope. If
Huh.
I could think of anybody that would have done it, Little Devil, for
For
sure.
sure. Yeah,
For
she does
sure.
a lot of
Right.
baking and
Yeah.
stuff too. Yeah. Incredible.
That's amazing.
So who was your first ever guest on your show?
Her name is Nadia. She was the Ganja Mama. Do you know
Oh,
the Ganja Mama?
fun.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in I think in Toronto, not far from where I am, but yeah, she was the first person that was on my show. I think I followed her on we met on Instagram, but that was really cool because I was obviously so new when you're just starting out. Trying to get guests on your show is pretty
Yeah.
intimidating to ask people, but
For sure.
yeah, she said yes. I was so nervous. And but it went really well and she was super nice. And then she actually came and hosted a lunch like a year and a half ago, somewhere not too far from where I live. So I went and to the lunch. It was an infused lunch too that she was putting on. So
Fun.
yeah, it was a lot of fun and I got to meet her in person and that was really nice. It was kind of like a full circle moment sort of thing. Yeah.
I feel like you guys in Ontario have way more events, like fun cannabis events than we have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys are Manitoba, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, there are a lot of events, but they all seem to happen in like Toronto, unless you live like right there. It's
Okay.
you don't always get to them all the time, kind of thing. And driving into Toronto is always a bit of a nightmare too. So
I would imagine. For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of events here. Yeah.
Nice. So you recently went to Camp Canna, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
How was it?
That was so much fun. It
Yeah.
really was. I wasn't sure
so
what to
dope.
expect, but did you either of you go to summer camp when you were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you like it? Because some kids are like, yeah,
Yes.
summer camp was shit.
I'm into it.
Depended on the summer camp. Yeah. One I really didn't like.
Yeah. I mean, this was like almost the exact same idea, except it was all adults and everyone was smoking weed everywhere. And
Yeah.
It's so
had,
dope.
like, a rep also that was with one of the edibles companies. So they were like giving out edibles all weekend. And like,
Amazing.
it was so much fun. There was like the Canada Olympics, but you could also go do like archery or the rock climbing wall. And there was like swimming and all kinds of fun stuff to do. And the food was awesome. So the whole experience was great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks like so much fun, right? When you mix smoking weed with being able to do things, if you have like a lounge area, right? You're like, I smoked a little too much weed, I'm gonna hang out for a bit, but then I'm gonna like, do the Can Olympics.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a
Absolutely.
band in one night too, and there was like campfires like every night and stuff. It
It's
was
so fun.
so much fun. Yeah. I
Yeah.
would highly recommend it to anybody just to like rediscover your inner child.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because it was the first year they did it in Ontario. I guess this is their third year in Alberta. I don't know if
Okay.
they'll start to expand further, but
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. It sounds like a really good time. And all the videos I see are always look super fun.
Mhm.
Good John Julio. Camp was awesome as a kid. Archery and giggling at horse cocks.
I went to a couple of trips like that, yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that seems like a great time.
Yeah, I mean,
For
whoever came
sure.
up with that, because I think they had it at like a kids' camp, but it was pre-season, so this was before any of the little kid campers were coming.
That's
But
awesome.
I guess the same, and the camp, like the grounds were beautiful, but I guess this place also would host camps that were sponsored by like alcohol companies. So it was the same.
Okay.
But from the sense that I got from the people who were there from the camp, it was like they're like the weed camp was a totally different vibe, which is
For sure.
surprising. To
For
anybody.
sure. I'm not going to a camp where you start drinking in the morning until
Yeah.
all night and you're there
Yeah.
all weekend. Shit's going down.
Yeah.
Right.
For
There's
sure.
people, alcohol makes people way different. When you like get a group of people and just like smoke weed the whole time,
Bunch
it's
of
way better.
stoners. Yeah.
Way better.
Totally different.
No one's fighting. Right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the whole vibe was like so chill, and it was
Eating food and singing.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
yeah.
It's so fun.
This is really nice. Sorry, I know you're like smoking your vape, but I keep wanting to pass.
Yeah,
the
no, I think my throat
lungs
needs the
good
vape.
with the.
So you don't ever consume cannabis by like smoking or vaping?
Yeah, I do. It just depends on my mood. I usually
Okay.
vaping. I have a dry herb vaporizer, and I really do like it actually. But
Yeah, me too. That's my fave.
yeah, I don't do joints very often because I used to be a smoker too. So it's just
Me too.
and I'm asthmatic and so
Me too.
yeah. So I just do the vaporizer. But a lot of the times, if I've eaten an edible, I don't always need it.
For sure. For
And
sure.
Definitely ate an edible like about an hour before the show started. So
Nice. Nice. I feel like when I do edibles, like it doesn't really like it just makes me pass out.
Yes, me too.
Like that's
I don't
all
feel
it
functional.
does.
I don't feel functional.
Oh,
Like it's just like, oh, okay, like I'm sober and then and then I wake up sometimes hungover, right? So it's just like it doesn't really.
What's the least amount of edibles do you feel like you've taken to make you not feel like that? Because I can't think of any.
Well, yeah, because I guess I've never done any illegal ones. So
Right.
I've never done like a 10 milligram.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just eating like really strong edibles.
Yeah.
Well, probably stronger. Yeah. Like at least a 50.
Okay.
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
I feel like
So
that
maybe
makes
that's my
me
issue.
feel
I need
stoned
to
for a
try
while and then I
something
pass
lower.
out.
Yeah, because I could probably do 50, but I think my sweet spot's more like 25. And if I do that, then I'm like functional. I'm high.
Yeah.
And I will sleep eventually, but it's not
We
gonna.
should try that. We should actually, we should actually maybe
pass out too. I would just be like,
we should maybe just try 25 and see how that makes us feel.
Or even just 10.
Like, okay, yeah, let's try 10.
Start low.
Yeah, go
try
slow.
more, right? Start low and then go up instead of
I'm being
like,
patient. I'm just smoking weed as I'm
eating
waiting
like
for the edible
1,000
to hit.
and then being like, why am I hungover yesterday? Like the next day, and
yeah, I would love to hear it
out?
if you do like 10. And then if you're like, oh, that doesn't do anything, like work your way up. But I'd be really curious to hear how you find it.
Yeah. So your podcast on YouTube, is it called Bite Me or Bite Me Podcast? Like just like it would be.
I saw that. I think it is. It's Bite Me something. Probably Bite Me Podcast. If I
and it's like Poker Lady, if you can see her logo and behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
something like that.
Yeah, so it's gonna look like
so
that.
funny. But could you imagine the search engine for just Bite Me? Just like when you type in 2 baked girls, it's like, did you mean 2 naked girls?
No.
No.
Yeah. And we're never gonna trump that.
Yeah.
We'll never trump 2 naked girls.
sort of
Yeah.
people that are scrolling through pages of
My old
Definitely.
doctor, one of my old doctors was like, I was trying to look you guys up. And she was like, I scrolled through pages and pages of porn and then I
Yeah.
just gave up. And I was like,
sounds good.
because you don't mean 2 naked girls. I was
Mhm.
like, you want
Right.
to mean like you mean 2 baked girls, you
This
know?
is where SEO is really important, actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah, legit.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cute. You were gonna say something?
Oh, buddy, I forgot.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Totally stole the conversation there.
Oh, that's all right. I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Remember it
That's
soon?
all right. It'll pop randomly. I'll be like, Margaret. Yeah.
So what type of savory dishes have you made? Aside from like the sauce you made yesterday, you were talking about.
Yeah, I made the sauce recently. I am I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna look on my own website because I'm kind of
That's all
because
right.
I've made some stuff before, but I do have a page on my website that's for recipes that I try and add stuff to, so you don't have to listen to like a whole episode or whatever. But I've done guacamole, pesto. I've done pesto probably like 3 or 4 times, different ways, because obviously it sounds like I like it.
Yeah.
Kale chips. I've made mayonnaise, Caesar dressing.
Amazing.
Buddy.
I've never done my own mayo. I've always wanted to try that.
For sure. How do you make mayo?
It's
Well,
actually
it's
really
kind of
easy.
similar to Caesar, right? Like you have to
Yeah, it's
slowly
like-
drizzle in the oil and stuff.
Yeah, it's like eggs and a lot of olive oil and
Oh.
maybe a little lemon juice. Maybe a
Do you
little
do it by
water.
hand or do you need like a blender thing?
Like a blender usually. I think you might be able to do it by hand.
I think I have like a magic bullet.
But you can't pour it into that slowly as it's blending.
Oh, you're very
which is
Yeah.
the issue.
You need an actual blender.
But a magic bullet,
Or
like that would probably work. That I don't think you need like a heavy duty blender to do it, kind of thing. But I see what you're saying. Is it can't be the upside down thing or whatever.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
can't
Like,
pour
stop it,
and blend
open
at the
it,
same time.
Put add
right?
some in, close it, start it again.
It's
Open
just
it,
like
add some,
3 drops,
pour
blend.
it. Yeah.
3 drops, blend. You'll be there for like 6 hours.
Here I am just trying
Right.
to make it in a fucking like jar, right? Just
Yeah.
in the kitchen, shaking it back and forth like butter. Can't you make butter like that? You like shake something?
Yeah, cream.
I've made butter before too. I did infuse it, but I have made butter. It was really good, but it was a pain in the ass.
Did you shake it?
No. I
No.
did it. I think I did it. Started it in the sous vide actually, and then you have to like
Okay.
squeeze out the butter eventually to get the water content out. And I can't remember. It was like a few steps to it, but I think that might have been during the pandemic. No surprise. I had a bit more time on my hands to be making butter.
For sure.
For
You're like,
sure.
you know what I'm gonna do today? Yeah,
You know what goes really good
Butter.
with the sourdough bread is some homemade butter.
right.
Oh,
For
amazing.
sure.
Do you make sourdough bread?
I have lots of times. Definitely made a
Wow.
ton during the pandemic, but I think after the pandemic, I was just like, you know what, I've had enough bread for a little
Yeah,
while.
for sure.
I have not been making any, so yeah,
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
know like sourdough can be really tricky and stuff. So I've
yeah.
never tried to make it.
It's a
but-
tricky
Yeah.
bread to make. I've
Well,
never
because like you have to have
attempted
the
make any bread.
starter, like the mother and stuff like that, and like
You just kind of
Would you-
also have to be like on a schedule because you have to like once you make the bread, you have to like I don't know, knead it and let it sit for a while, and then you come back and
Yeah.
you knead it again. So you're on a schedule. Which again, if you have anything else to do, then that can really
Yeah.
get in the way.
It's
But
like a
when
day
you-
off kind of bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do it on a day off. Yeah.
So I had more days off during some parts of the pandemic than I do now. And I just have not felt like baking, I guess. I kind of go through ebbs and flows. Like I used to make a long time ago a lot of kombucha.
oh
Like,
wow.
Yeah, probably when I started the show, I was doing it a lot, but now I'm just like, whatever. Yeah.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
That's another kind of tougher one, right? Because that one
No,
also
it's
is
actually
like,
pretty easy,
oh yeah,
especially and like for how much it costs to make versus how much you pay to buy it. It's like ridiculous.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Look
Thanks,
That's a new
Poker Lady.
subscriber.
So sweet. Hopefully, you get more than that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a Wolseley kombucha here, so we have a local
Yeah.
Oh,
local
nice.
kombucha company.
Kombucha kind of scares
And
me
they
a
have-
little bit.
They have
'cause
taps and stuff at different
Yeah.
places that you can just go and like refill your things.
Isn't there like things in kombucha? There's like a
Well, it's like fermented kind of,
Yeah.
so like it's
like thing like a I don't know what kind of
Oh,
thing it is.
like the
Well,
SCOBY?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just kind of like you think it's like, did it go bad?
well, isn't
They're
that
like,
kind of like
"No,
the
that's-"
mother type thing?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And it usually sits
You-
on the top.
Yeah. Do you drink it or do you not drink it?
The SCOBY itself?
Yeah.
No. Well, it's like it's not something you'd really drink because it can get really thick.
Yeah.
If you let it grow,
Yeah.
it can get really thick. During the pandemic, one of my kids was living with me. Like my kids are young adults now, but she was back at home for a bit. And she got into making kombucha because, as one does during a lockdown. And then she kind of like stopped doing it after a while. And that SCOBY sat in a cupboard for a very long time. And it was like so thick.
Oh,
God.
that sounds so
Cut
gross.
the fingers off of it if
Yeah.
you wanted to. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you're
weird.
crazy.
It is weird. But
Somebody told me that you drink it and it's like it's supposed to do good stuff for your body.
Well, I thought like you just kind of shook it and like blended
Yeah.
it into, you know?
Yeah.
because it's just basically like a sweetened tea that ferments with that SCOBY sitting on the top.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. Yeah.
Crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think I've only tried kombucha once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like you haven't gone and gotten it from the tab?
I have not. I haven't tried the local stuff. I have
Oh,
not to
It's
admit.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit different, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to try the Wolseley one.
Is there health benefits to it?
Yes.
So it's healthy for you?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind
I
of like
mean-
drinking apple cider vinegar. Like,
Yeah, but not
That's
so
yeah.
tart. and
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. Just doing shots of apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, and
Been
people
there.
will flavor it
That's-
too.
yeah.
Like they'll ferment the tea and then they'll take it out and like flavor it with fruit juices and stuff like that. You can do like a second ferment, and
Yeah.
you can get really, really into it if you want. But
Really fancy kombucha.
yeah,
I love how we all got into our own things during COVID, right?
Yeah.
You just like have so much more free time.
yeah.
And then real life started again. And you're like, fuck.
I know.
Yeah, like, I know, yeah.
What did you guys get into during the pandemic? Do you have any hobbies that you were like,
Oh, I just made TikTok. I started TikTok.
oh, did you?
Yeah, I started making TikTok
that could be a
videos.
serious hobby.
Yeah.
I was working in 2 jobs for a bit, and then I only worked 1 job, but then I had to have surgery.
Yeah.
So that's what I was up to during COVID. Working
That's
and
so
then
fun.
surgery. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then started working again. You just don't have time. Now it's like too crazy.
Yeah.
So you're not making TikTok videos anymore?
Well, it's like the last thing I posted. It's so funny. It feels funny to me because I'll like post a video and I'll be like, I'm back, right? Because it's been like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then like, or the song is like something about I'm back, bitches. And then it'll be like another month or 2 before I post another video. And then
Right.
it's like, hey, I'm back. I'll be better. I'll post more. And then I just don't. So yeah, I'm
I'll
trying
have
to
to
get better.
find you.
Halloween's coming up, so it's kind of like my whole thing. That's like
Right.
special effects makeup and stuff. So like I've started making some Halloween videos for makeup for October. So I feel like that's my excuse right now. I'm just like prepping
Right.
these videos for October.
That's something to
So-
look forward to, though. I honestly love TikTok. It's my guilty secret.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking love
Are
it.
you on TikTok at all?
Yeah, but I'm way more of a lurker.
Yeah.
You know, like I just consume content more than I post it. And I do
Yeah.
like if I have an interview, I record through StreamYard like we're using today. And it
Yeah.
does like these AI generated clips from that. And I'll post those from the interviews.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So just give people a little teaser of what the show's like. But otherwise I'm just like watching videos, you know.
Yeah. I tell her all the I
Okay.
tell Cupcake all the time. I get into these like conspiracy videos or these like huge holes in the Arctic and like, government aliens, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm too stoned for this shit, but I'm going to keep scrolling. And then now it's on my For You page. So again,
I know,
or just
right?
Joe Rogan being like, guess what? And
Yeah.
like tell a mind-blowing story. And you're like, okay, now I'm on this path of like real life vampires. And like, are mermaids real?
Yeah. There are some pretty weird rabbit holes you can go down for sure.
Oh, buddy.
I've never done that.
But it is true when they say like a trend can happen on TikTok and then it takes like at least 2 weeks to make it over to Instagram, because I've seen that a few times now. And
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like it's way easier to have a following on TikTok than it is like Instagram or YouTube.
Yeah, well, especially when it's like cannabis content, because they're always like, you're talking about weed.
Yeah. I always called it Dragon Time, so that's what I was known for. It was like but so I had this like green shiny thing over me with yellow insides, like Puff the Magic Dragon, and then I like blow out smoke at the beginning of my videos, but I would never actually inhale it on camera, right? So all you see is me blowing out smoke. Right. And it's never right. And then it's a transition video into like actual makeup, right? And not Dragon Time. Right. So like it's never been flagged. I've been totally fine. But then I've had like, people's kids watch me and they're just like, they really think you're a real life dragon. Because they don't understand how you're blowing out smoke.
Well, it's kind of nice though, because you have like the double entendre and you get around the ridiculous like I don't know, restrictions, I guess. Yeah. I'm at the point now where I'm like, fuck it. Like, I mean, I don't try to be overt because I know I could like have my account taken down on Instagram in particular, which would suck. But at the same time, I'm also like, whatever. I've been shadow banned so many times. And then I see an account somewhere and they're like selling cocaine and mushrooms. I'm like, oh,
literally.
I know.
Literally.
Like, a ton of my sponsored ads lately on Facebook have been like mushrooms, drugs. There's even been like ones that are like selling harder drugs. Like, I can't believe like you allowed that stuff and then you've deleted, like stupid like art things that we've posted of cannabis. Like it
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's totally backwards.
Yeah.
And maybe those accounts get taken down eventually too, but it's just,
but like I definitely heard it, so it worked.
But they didn't let them sponsor it because it's an ad, right? So that's sponsored. They allow it to like sponsor.
You have to like go
so
through.
You think that it would flag it before that, right?
Yeah, because I think way back I probably tried doing ads for something cannabis related. Facebook, Meta was just like, no, thank you. We don't want your business. And I was like, well, fine then. Okay.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, even Instagram, I still really like Instagram, but I just find sometimes when I'm scrolling through, do you ever find like half the accounts are like suggested accounts?
Yes.
And it's or ads. And I'm like, oh, there's somebody I know going by.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do find that too.
Little devil says because they make money from ad sales. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
So they're gonna take the money and then take you down.
Yeah. Poker Lady says there's only 68 days until Halloween. Where did the summer go, buddy?
Wow,
I'm excited for Halloween.
Yeah.
So is Halloween like your holiday of the year? Is that
absolutely? Yeah. Absolutely. And then for 2BG, we
even
always
for the show,
for the show, like we've
done some pretty
so great.
Fun
like
ones.
they're my favorite because they're ridiculous. Like last year we were baked potatoes, so Cupcake made us potato costumes and like
they were like fuzzy
furry potatoes.
That's awesome.
With big joints. It was the best costume ever.
And then I bought these like eyes that had red, it looked like they were kind of stoned eyes. So we like put those up there. and then we got googly eyes and we like put them all over for like the potato eyes.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. So that was
how many sessions do you guys record dressed as potatoes then?
Just the one.
Just one live
Halloween episode. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely have to wear that one out when Halloween because I did spend a lot of time and money on that one.
The year before that, we were a used tampon and a used pad.
Oh no way! I love that.
And then we just doused Cupcake in blood. The whole show, blood. She's in this fake and she has a sheet on.
That's amazing. I love that.
Cupcake made like me a pad, so my face was just sticking in it. Half of it's just blood. I wore it out the next day with my boyfriend for went to the bar, got first place.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So funny.
That would elicit some responses if you wore that out to a bar, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Women thought it was hilarious. Guys were like, it took them a second, and they're just like, what?
Right.
Gross.
Yeah. That was actually a little devil who kind of helped with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
she sent me something, and I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. I went to Dollarama and bought everything, you know, cottony.
So do you already know what you're doing this year?
We have no idea.
It's always last minute.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you do Halloween episodes?
Sometimes, yeah. Depending on where I'm at.
Yeah. Do you dress up for some of them?
Well, not really. I haven't before, just because like it's my show's pretty much an audio only.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
that's
I mean, true. If someone wants to go to my website and watch the video of me talking,
yeah,
which includes like all the shit I've like. Sometimes I'll just be like looking shit up or like doing whatever. And then I'll go out and cut all that stuff out. But if you're going to be patient enough. So yeah, I don't really dress up.
Yeah, for sure. That makes
maybe
sense.
I should. Maybe even inspire me to like
do a special. Yeah, do a special. Do a video.
Dress up as a cookie, you know, like an edible of sorts, a gummy, you know?
A gummy bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That could work. And I do love gummy bears too. So yeah.
And then just like, but DIY it. Like that's the best part, right? You gotta
make
the costume yourself.
Right.
Because it's more, you know.
We even made like massive joints for our potatoes last year. And then like, put it sparkles.
It was
like on the end, so it looked like a lit joint.
It was so dope.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, it was literally the day of. We decided we were like, oh yeah, this would be like our Halloween episode. So that's when you were like the dirty paper bag princess.
Fun.
We took like a like a leaf bag, put it inside out and made her like a dress out of it.
I love that. I love that as a kid too. So that's classic.
Yeah. And then she drew boobs in a vagina.
Mm-hmm. And then I was
a trend there. I kind of like.
Oh yeah. And then I was the night the morning after. Walk of Shame Transcona style. That's like a neighborhood in our city.
They're like known for
partying when you're younger and just like
girls,
you know, fucking whoever.
People call it Trash Kona.
Yeah. So I just dressed up like I had a cheetah shirt on, condoms hanging out, hair all fucked up, eyelashes everywhere, lipstick everywhere. Yeah.
I heard it should be changed. The name should be changed though to the I Got Laid Parade instead.
Yeah,
I heard that once, and I was just like, why is it the Walk of Shame?
There you go. Buddy. That's a good one.
Yeah, buddy.
It's the I Got Laid Parade.
Buddy, I had to walk through
I like that better.
An army training thing one morning with my, at the time, best friend. The morning after, they're just like, oh, somebody's picking us up. We're in high heels and short black dresses.
Right.
People in the army just training. We're like, sorry, we gotta go to the other side of that
fence. Don't look while we hop it.
Yeah. Got in the car. I remember my brother picked me up with his buddy, and he goes, "You're embarrassing." Thanks, bro.
You're just jealous.
Yeah. I got laid. Yeah. We gotta play Rick's Rant.
Yeah, so we have a 2-minute segment that we allow one of our guests that we've had on, like probably the most ever of any guest.
Yeah.
So he gets a 2-minute rant. He can rant about anything he wants.
Rick's Rant.
And yes, we call it Rick's Rant. And we're just going to play that quickly.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a 2-minute.
Good remembering.
Oh, we should be able to hear it this time, right?
Yes. I think we can hear it. All right, here it goes, everyone.
Hey, this is Rick in the Shed. How you guys doing tonight? This is Rick's Rant for the Two Baked Girls podcast. Don't forget to follow me on X, Facebook, and Instagram, Rick in the Shed. My rant of the week is all about Winnipeg metro region. So this company, WMR, has put together a plan 2050. So this outside entity has done consultations with 1,200 times with, maybe a handful of people each time, sometimes only one person, all over the province, but nobody talked to the voters, nobody talked to the constituents at all, and that's why this plan is totally falling apart right now. Now they're getting all cranky. And if you don't know what this plan is, you need to go check out online. Look up Plan 2050. This was a metropolitan region. 18 municipalities were all supposed to be involved, But at the last minute, I shouldn't even say last minute, but by the time people actually found out what was going on and how they wouldn't have control over their properties, that this company could literally come in and seize your property to use it as a roadway, thoroughfare, or whatever, because they want to plan a massive metropolis over the future. And I guess they have enough money to get this done in the next 30 years because, you know, all our infrastructure is mint at this point, that why would we want to have any money to, you know, we're over budget on our snow. We're over budget on our roads every freaking year. And they want to go and spend a whole bunch of money doing some kind of massive metropolis. Well, how are you going to take care of that shit when you can't take care of the shit that we already got? So we are almost allowing, and thank God for Wob Canoe. Like, you know what, man? I can't say enough good stuff about this guy because, again, he came out and saved the day. And what something that was optional at the beginning all of a sudden wasn't optional, and everybody was having to join this thing. Now at the last minute, Wob Canoe came out and said every municipality can make their own decision. Thank you very much. So if you are not paying attention, you need to go check out Plan 2050 and get yourself educated. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you, Rick.
Oh, Rick, yes. You know what I love about Rick? Remember when Wob Canoe won? And then he was just trying to call Wob Canoe out, and he's like, he hasn't changed the stuff yet, and it had been like 3 weeks. And now he's a big fan of Wob Canoe. I love that.
Yeah. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Mom. Hey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks for joining us, Lisa.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, right? Yeah, she's super dope. What's up, Mom?
Cake decorator. Nice.
Yeah, so shout out Wob Canoe. Did he say the year 2050?
Yeah.
So 4 years? 25 years?
That's a while away.
That's 26 years. Math.
They're planning into 2050 now. That's kind of weird.
So he's saying that they could just like come and like take your property to be like, we need to build a road here.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's absolutely crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm glad that he changed it and like let people make their own decision.
What if they'd pay you? If the city would pay you?
They probably would, but
they would have to, wouldn't they?
But it'd probably be like not worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't really give you an option.
Oh, hi, Stacy. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So shout out to Rick. Make sure you go follow him on all the platforms. Rick in the Shed. Thanks, Rick. We love your face. Rick in the Shed.
Too?
He's in Manitoba. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He had a shop in Brandon, like a grow shop in Brandon, and then a grow shop in Winnipeg, and he lives in Brandon. Nice. So yeah. So we've had him on the show so many times. He's such a good guy, and he loves ranting about things. Oh, he shares his opinion about things.
Well, and that's his Rick on the Shed. Like he talks about a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a grow shop. So you guys can grow now, right?
Yeah.
Now we can.
Finally. Yeah.
But not if you live in an apartment.
Oh, is that like the government saying that, or just landlords or some?
Landlords probably.
I guess it's kind of both. Like,
right.
You know, they're like, well, you're renting. Like when I was a medical patient and I asked for a grow license, they judge it on your apartment, like on your address. And because I lived in an apartment, they were like, you have to have like somebody to grow for you or a space that you can grow in.
Yeah.
So one of the two. And then I would have had to like had that person background checked and all those kinds of things too. Cause it was all medical and it wasn't like legal to grow. Right. So yeah, it was a lot of hoops to jump through. So I never actually got my grow license because I didn't have somewhere to grow or have someone to grow for me. So
but now if we wanted to grow, like I could grow 4 plants in my backyard.
Yeah.
So like that's dope.
Yeah.
I'll just get some auto seeds.
Auto flower.
Flower, let it, water it, see what happens. It's probably not gonna be the best, but hey, anything you grow that you're able to smoke, free weed, man.
Yeah. And when you're trimming all that weed, just keep all the sugar leaf and all that stuff, and it makes really great edibles too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So have you ever grown weed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I mean, this year sucks. It's not going so hot, but and I'm like definitely a hobby grower, but I've dabbled quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
I just kind of moved to a new place, and so where I was for like the last decade, there was so much shade in the backyard. I would try and grow, but like the weed wasn't it was definitely not anything to brag about, but it's still, I could still use it for edibles and stuff too.
For sure.
But this year I moved to a new place and there's like so much sun, but I just had a hell of a time getting my seed started and stuff. And I got it late. And so now it's growing, but I just don't think it's going to flower in time before it gets too cold.
Yeah.
Because we live in Canada.
Yeah, we do.
Very true.
A little shorter. Yeah.
Got a small window.
Do you guys get as cold as us?
I don't think so. I think the rumors about Western Canada are pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like central Ontario, like South Central Ontario more.
Okay.
It gets cold here, but I have a friend that lives out in Saskatchewan, and I went out to visit last January of this year.
Yeah.
And it was like minus 40.
Yeah.
Why I went in January, that's a whole other story. But yeah, it was so goddamn cold. Like the whole week I was there.
Well, in the prairies, it just blows straight through, right?
Yeah.
So
and everybody has like the block heaters, and the snow was like had that crunchy sound, it's like really cold and it's crunchy.
Oh yeah, that's Winnipeg to a T.
Yeah, for sure. And like you have a beard, your
nostrils
is just like
freeze together
when
you're breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. So Saskatoon sounds a lot like that. And my entire suitcase was just filled with like fleece. So yeah.
Aw, thank you so much, Poker Lady.
Yeah, Manitoba gets so cold too. We got polar bears that live up north Manitoba.
Really?
Yeah. Go to Churchill. Go to the polar bears.
That would be pretty north though, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very north. Yeah.
That's really north. Yeah. But it would be really fun to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like $10,000 though to go see polar
like
bears.
the train and stuff. It's super
Yeah.
expensive.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
Like $10,000 a person.
Yeah.
You can find a deal, but then like could you imagine paying all that money and then you don't actually see polar bears?
Yeah, it's like Toronto Zoo is pretty cheap by
comparison. You're gambling. Yeah, right.
They might have polar bears there. I don't know. So
yeah, like they
we have them in our zoo for sure. They have like that special habitat home thing that was built for them.
I think like seeing them in the wild too. Yeah. Seeing them in the wild would be like super cool, but like there's no protection really. Like what are you in when you see these polar bears?
Well, yeah, and like I don't know, just with all the issues of the water and like things changing, and then like them not being able to really swim because there's like everything's melting. So like they would like swimming, and then they would find another iceberg or whatever to like go on, and that's like less and less and less, right? So yeah, I don't know,
buddy. That just killed it for me.
Really
I don't want to see
the
Yeah,
I don't know if I could see that. I'd be like, that's the worst trip ever.
That's so
oh my
sad.
gosh,
I would like to go up north though sometime. I knew somebody that was trying to do like a cannabis festival in the Yukon.
Oh, wow.
And then she's just like, would you want to like run this, help out with this thing? And I was like, yeah, but then it didn't actually work out. And I was really sad because I've never been to the Yukon.
That would be incredible.
And have you two been to the Yukon?
No.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
I feel like it's like a part of Canada that a lot of people don't see. Maybe it's like cold a lot and we'd rather go someplace warm when we have the chance. But
absolutely, yeah.
Cannabis festival is a good reason to visit a place. So
for sure. And I think it would just be really cool to see the Yukon.
It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine the sky? Like yeah.
It's just different out there,
Yeah. And it was going to be in like Yellowknife, which I believe is, a reasonably good sized city too. So
yeah.
That
would have been cool.
I just like I
hope you get to do that one. Yeah.
I just like really hate the cold. Like that's my problem, right?
Me too. How are you in the prairies?
Yeah, but it's like but it's like one of those things where it's like where it gets really cold here. I know that I have like a car starter, so like I start my car before I go anywhere. My house is really warm.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like when I work, I just run into work quick. Right. I'm not like actively trying to spend time outside in minus 40. Like I'm not just like, let's go ice skating. I don't know how to skate. I don't want to fucking skate. Right? I don't want to be like cold falling. Like doesn't sound like a good time to me.
So you just meditate like everybody else.
Yeah. I just that's all I do. And in the summer, I'm outside all the time in my backyard. Like I take advantage of it, right? Fall time, love fall time, right? Bonfires and like hanging outside. But like winter time, I don't know.
Just avoid summer and winter.
Not me. I don't enjoy being cold.
I just find too like the snow and stuff is a pain in the ass too. Like trying to drive in it and walk in it and like just live in it and have to put it somewhere because it's on your driveway and
to shovel it. Yes,
like
so annoying.
It's a real inconvenience.
Remember that 1 year, was it like 2 years ago maybe, when it snowed so much? And like my front walk or whatever, the snow was like up to the stairs.
Oh, it was crazy.
It just kept snowing. Like it would be like wooden snow, and then 2 days later, snow again.
Well, there was one year we had so much snow that like we were joking that we actually had a mountain.
Yes.
Because there was so much snow, they like ran out of places to put it. So they like made this huge freaking mountain. Like it actually took a few years for it to melt because it was so big. I think it was 2 years. 2 years it took to melt.
Wild.
Yeah, because like this summer wasn't long enough, you know?
Right.
So it just like froze again, and like there we go.
Last few years in Ontario, we've been getting like we'll get snow, and then it like gets mild and everything melts, and then it gets cold again. And I almost like that even like I don't like that as much because then everything gets freezes and then it's slippery and
ice. Yeah.
I'd rather just be cold, like start to finish, and then get it.
Stacy says the same thing. As soon as the snow hits, I'm in hibernation unless absolutely needed to go outside.
You could like survive these days to quite a while without having to like go outside.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
Like groceries delivered.
I will pay. I will tip extra. Yeah. For services like that when it's really cold, I'll tip you extra because like you're getting in and out of your car to deliver that. You deserve the extra 10, 20 bucks.
So you could go weeks probably without leaving the house.
So are you like, have you lived in Ontario your whole life?
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like when people are like, why do you live in Canada when it's so cold? It's like, well, because that's where everybody I know is.
Yeah. Well, it's home, right? I love Canada. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Us too for Winnipeg. And it's cheap.
Oh.
Cheaper than a lot of places.
Cheaper than a lot of places.
Yeah. Ontario's not so great right now for prices of things.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And
it's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
It was lots of fun. So everybody check her out. Bite Me Podcast on YouTube, Bite Me Podcast on Instagram, and bitemepodcast.com online.
Yeah.
And you can check out her website website with the recipes and even the calculator.
Yes.
To calculate how much your edibles are.
Yeah.
Like per dose, right?
Yeah.
So incredible stuff. Please check her out and subscribe to her YouTube as well.
You nailed that.
I'm very professional. More, right?
Just a few times. Yeah, just a few times.
I could never. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Margaret.
Yeah,
this was fun.
So much. Yeah, it was tons of fun. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please join us next week when we have guest Tyler from Supercraft. We're super stoked to have him here too. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy Friday.
Bye, guys. Happy Friday.
Stay baked, everyone.
Stay baked. That's a dope. I like that. That's a dope.